Welcome to Restorative Yoga. All you need is a mat and some comfortable clothes. We'll go ahead and get started in a seated position today. You can make your way to a comfortable cross-legged position. We'll start with the hands on the knees. And we'll begin by taking a big inhale, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, then exhale down the spine. A big inhale to bring those shoulders up, then exhale down the back. Continue and inhaling on the way up, exhale on the way down. Making really big, dramatic movements. Good, we'll get a couple more here. Matching movement to breath, moving at your own pace. Good, let's get one more big inhale, shoulders up. And exhale down the back. Good, from here we're gonna switch direction. So inhaling to bring the shoulders up the back and exhale down the chest. Taking big, deep breaths. Working to release that tension from the shoulders, upper back. Good, let's get two more. Move at your own pace. Take your time. Good. All right, once you complete your two, you can just give the shoulders a little shake. Maybe roll them out a little more. Good. Then on our next inhale, we're gonna reach nice and tall overhead. And as we exhale, we're gonna gently twist to the right. Just going as far as comfortable. We'll inhale to reach back up to the center, stretch. Then exhale, twist left. Get one more big inhale, reaching up to the center. One more big exhale, twisting right. And a big inhale to reach overhead. Big exhale to twist left. Good. On your next inhale, reach overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to pull the arms down wide, making a goalpost position. Really squeeze the shoulder blades. And then we'll inhale to reach back overhead. Big exhale to bring those arms out wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades, pull down. Inhale to reach up. Then we'll exhale just to bring those hands back down to the lap. Can let the shoulders relax. Good. All right, from here, moving to some no shakes. So we're going to begin to slowly glance over our right shoulder, turning as far as comfortable. We'll exhale, bring it back to the center. Inhale to look over your left shoulder, as far as comfortable. Then exhale back to the center. We'll repeat, looking over the right shoulder, back to the center. Inhale, looking over the left shoulder. We'll inhale back to the center. Good. From here, we're going to bring both feet together. Knees come out wide. Moving into a butterfly pose. So from here, gently starting to apply some pressure on the knees with elbows, slowly hinging ourselves forward. If you'd like, you can drop chin to chest. Just let the head be heavy. Stay still here, or option if you want to gently rock side to side. Should feel a really nice stretch in the hips, through the inner thigh. We'll continue to hold and breathe. If you want, you can close the eyes. Take two more deep breaths. Good. After your second deep breath, we'll slowly begin to rise back up, find our way back to that comfortable seat. And from here, we're going to find a basket grip with the hands. So just interlacing the fingers. We'll inhale to reach overhead. Now as we exhale, we're going to gently bring the hands to the back of the head And slowly pull chin down to chest, just applying really light pressure. Stretch out the neck. Do your best to let the shoulders just relax down. Really enhance that stretch. The key word here is just gentle pressure, not cranking on the neck. Take 2 more deep breaths. Continuing to sit up nice and tall. We'll get 1 more. Good. After that second deep breath, you can slowly begin to rise. We'll inhale to reach the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, just bring them forward. We'll keep the hands right where they're at, interlaced in that basket grip. And from here, we're just going to press the hands forward. Feel a different view here. So really working to pull the shoulder blades apart. You should feel a little stretch in the upper back. Hold here for 1 more deep breath. They can slowly begin to release the hands. Just give the hands a little shake. Let the wrists and fingers be loose. Good. And from here, we're going to slowly begin to grasp the hands behind the back, finding that same basket grip, interlacing the fingers. And we're going to slowly pull up as far as comfortable, opening up the chest, the shoulders. If you'd like, you can kind of shift the arms side to side, left to right, turning the torso just slightly. Try to pull the arms up a 1/4 inch, just a little bit higher. Take 1 more deep breath. Good, then we'll slowly release the arms. Give the hands another shake, maybe take some wrist rolls. We'll do each of those 1 more time. So finding that basket grip, interlace the fingers. We'll press forward, trying to pull those shoulder blades apart. We'll take 1 deep breath, really press the hands forward. Good, after that breath, we'll slowly unwind, shake the hands just for a moment, and then we're headed behind again. So interlacing the hands behind the back, giving a slight pull up, finding length in the spine. Good, we'll take 1 deep breath here. Awesome work. We'll gently release the hands. Take a moment, 1 more moment to roll the wrists, stretch the fingers. Good, then from here, we're gonna roll ourselves forward, finding hands and knees. So hands are directly below the shoulders, fingertips are spread nice and wide, and knees are directly below the hips. And take your time setting up. Moving into some cat and cow. We'll take a big inhale to drop the belly down, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. And as we exhale, we'll round out the back, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Another big inhale to drop the belly down, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, really exaggerate that movement. And exhale to round out the spine, pull the shoulder blades apart. Good, we'll get 1 more big inhale, drop the belly down, lift the gaze. And a big exhale to round out the spine. From here, we'll make our way to a neutral spine, tabletop position. We'll take a moment to shift side to side, shifting the hips left, right, just getting a little movement. Good. We'll find some stillness, and from here, we'll extend that left leg out behind us, letting the toes just find the ground, and we'll begin to shift forward and backward, finding a nice stretch for the calf, the ankles, the toes. You can move gently here, rocking forward and backward, maybe adding in some rolls around. Another great option too is holding that stretch, focusing on pressing the heel back. You should feel a great stretch in the calf. You can mix and match and find what feels good for your body today. It's the important thing with this class. Continue to take nice slow breaths, aiming for 3 to 4 seconds to really get the most out of our breath. Good. Let's take one more deep breath. Take your time. Good. And after your deep breath, we'll slowly bring that left knee back to the mat. Now extending that right foot back, letting the toes find the ground. We'll slowly begin to shift forward and backward. You can rock forward, backward. You can add in some rolls around gently. You can hold. Plenty of options to play around with. You can do something different than you did on the other side. Find what feels good on this right leg, right foot. Breathing nice and easy. Let's get 2 more deep breaths. Good. And after your second deep breath, you can slowly return that right knee back to the mat. From here, we're going to keep the hips where they're at, but we're going to slowly begin to walk our hands forward, finding a puppy dog pose, eventually resting the forehead down to your mat. Again, hips are lifted, so a little different than our child's pose, where we sink the hips down, just keeping them lifted up in the air, finding a little bend in the spine, feeling a nice stretch in the shoulders. You can spread the fingertips nice and wide. Just breathing nice and easy. You can always make adjustments too with the arms, pulling the elbows in closer, maybe pushing them farther out. Encourage you to just feel it out. Don't be afraid to play around. Good. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Really taking time to settle in. Good. After that second deep breath, we'll slowly begin to pick the forehead up off the mat and walk the hands up towards us. From here, we're going to walk knees out towards the edge of your mat, as wide as comfortable, and then we'll sink our hips down towards the heels, moving into child's pose. You can keep the arms stretched out. Shoulders are feeling a little too stretched. You can give them a break to bring the hands down. Really play around and find what feels good. Placing the child's pose, it's a great full body stretch and especially starts to get in those hips. If you'd like, you can kind of shift your weight side to side, left to right. Should feel a great stretch in the hip flexors and inner thigh. Let's take one more deep breath here. Awesome work. After that deep breath, we'll slowly begin to pick the forehead up, shift ourselves forward, and we'll find some hip circles. You can walk the knees in slightly. We'll slowly begin to just shift ourselves around, going back as far as comfortable. Might feel silly, but just kind of a fun movement here to give some gentle movement to the hips, a little bit to the shoulders. Good. We'll switch directions, starting to circle the other way. And just nice and slow, not rushing through it all. One more all the way around. Good. All right. From here, we'll check in with the hands, making sure they're right below the shoulders. We'll pick up to high plank, so lifting the knees up off the ground just for a moment. From here, we're going to bring the left knee to left elbow, lay the leg down about 45 degrees, and we'll slowly begin to walk that right foot back. flipping the toes underneath so they're flat on the ground. We'll begin by staying lifted for a moment here. So you should feel a nice stretch in the IT band along the side of that left leg. Stretch in the hips, especially on that right side. Now, if you'd like, you can begin to walk your way down towards the mat, dropping down to an elbow, and you can lay the head down either on stacked fists. If you have a block, that's great. Or you can get a little bit flatter for even deeper stretch. Or always option to stay lifted on the hands to really just work into the stretch. Don't need to dive in right away. Always add some movement too, gently shifting side to side, just a little bit. It's like tiny, gentle movements. Let's take one more deep breath. All right. If you are down on the mat, you can slowly begin to press your way back up to that chest opener position up on the hands. And from here, we're going to slowly turn the right toes back underneath, unwind that left leg, and make our way back to a high plank. Now, in the high plank, you can take time to pedal out the feet. Maybe take some other movements. You can shift the hips around, a little rotation. Good. And when you're ready, we're going to bring that right knee to right elbow. Lay the leg down about 45 degrees and then slowly begin to walk that left foot back, flipping the toes underneath. You can always adjust the angle of that leg to find what's comfortable. We'll begin up on the hands just to give the body a chance to settle in here and just not diving in right away, just easing into the water. When you're feeling ready, you can slowly begin to walk your way down to the mat if you'd like. Dropping down to the elbows, you can let the head relax on stacked fists, stacked hands, whatever height feels good. Always remembering to breathe. We'll do our best to unclench the jaw. Let the shoulders be soft. Try to avoid letting them ride up to the ears. Just settle them down. You can add that movement too if you'd like, just gently shifting side to side if that feels good. I'll play around with it. Let's take one more deep breath. Good. Then after that deep breath, we'll slowly make our way up to the hands if you were down on the mat. And then from here, we're going to shift onto that right hip and just swivel the legs forward, graceful as we can. We'll keep both legs out in front of us. And we'll begin with a bend in the knees. On your next inhale, we're going to reach up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward, nice and slow, grabbing for the calves, the ankles, the feet. And we'll start with a bend in the knees just to give our body a little chance again to ease into this stretch. Our seated forward fold. Can tuck chin to chest. We'll do our best to just let everything relax as we hold this position. And if it's comfortable, you can slowly begin to either walk the hips back or shift the feet forward to straighten out the legs, get an even deeper stretch. Really focusing on breathing into the hamstrings, breathing into the low back. Good. Let's take 3 more deep breaths, slow and steady. Maybe try and get a little bit deeper with our last breath. Good. After that third deep breath, we'll slowly begin to release, rolling our way up the legs, slow, slow, slow. From here, we'll straighten out the legs and just slowly continue down to the mat. Rolling one vertebra at a time, waking up the core just a little bit, all the way down. Beautiful. All right. From here, go ahead and bring the hands down by the sides. Just let them be heavy for a moment. We'll take a bend in the knees, so planting both feet on the mat, about hip width apart. We'll slowly begin to shift the knees side to side, finding a windshield wiper motion, just to give a little refresher for the low back, the hips. Just going as far as comfortable with those knee drops. Good. All right, we'll find some stillness here. We're going to slowly begin to cross the left foot over the right knee. You can stay here. This is our first option. Just applying light pressure to that left knee and finding that stretch in the IT band along the side of that left leg. Now, if you'd like a deeper stretch, you can slowly begin to peel that right foot off the mat, grabbing behind the hamstring, pull it in close, and hang out here. We have option to rock side to side. If you have the legs picked up, you can also roll up the ankle, maybe just stretch out the toes. And play around and find whatever's feeling good today. We'll try to soften the face, soften the shoulders. Just relax. Okay, let's take one more deep breath here. We'll slowly begin to drop the right foot down so it finds the mat. We'll keep the left leg crossed over. From here, we're going to gently let the legs fall off to the right side, getting as close to the ground as comfortable. Maybe even setting that left foot on the ground while keeping everything crossed. Finding that gentle twist. If you'd like a full body twist, you can extend that left arm out to your left side. Let the gaze just go over the fingertips. Using your inhales to find the length in the spine. And every exhale working to deepen that twist. Just take a moment here to slow the breath down, take some time to tune in with the body, see how we're feeling. Good. Let's take one more deep breath. After that breath, we'll slowly begin to bring the gaze back up toward the ceiling first and bring that left arm back in. We'll slowly pull the legs back up to the center and we'll uncross that left foot. Once you're ready, we'll switch sides. So crossing that right foot over left knee. Again, that first option is applying light pressure on the right leg as we hold on the ground. Or for a deeper stretch, you can peel that left foot up, grab behind the hamstring, and hold here. You can add whatever movements are feeling good. If you want to rock side to side, roll out the ankle. You can play around with bending and straightening out the left leg. Plenty of options. Continuing to breathe nice and easy. Let go of any tensions we're feeling. Now let's take two more deep breaths as we hold this stretch. Awesome work. After that second deep breath, we'll slowly begin to bring that left foot down to the mat if it's not already. Keeping that right foot crossed over, we're going to let it fall off to the left side. Gentle twist. Like as far as comfortable. Again, maybe sitting that foot down, but not required. If you'd like to add that full body twist, we'll extend the right arm out to the right side and let the gaze fall over the fingertips. Using our inhales to find length in the spine, and our exhales help us to deepen that twist, settle into that stretch. I'll take this time to slow down that breath. Really focus on how the chest and belly rise with the inhales and how everything just compresses down with the exhale. Good. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. After that second deep breath, we'll slowly begin to bring our gaze back to the center first, and that right arm back to the side. We'll pull the legs back to the center and uncross that right foot. And we'll take some more of those windshield wipers, so gently letting the knees fall off to either side, swish washing the legs. All right. We'll find some stillness back in the center, and on your next inhale, we're going to pull both knees into the chest, picking the feet up off the mat, giving them a nice hug as we hold them in close. And we'll work to let the legs just be heavy here, kind of let the arms do the work. You can just appreciate a little stillness as we pull those legs in close, find some compression in the hips, or you can gently begin to rock side to side. Also draw circles with the knees. Find a little massage for the low back. If you do add movement, just keep it nice, gentle. Appreciating a slower pace. We'll take one more big inhale, really pulling those knees in close. As we exhale, releasing the left leg to the mat. We'll let the toes turn out to the left side, finding a little stretch in the inner thigh and hip. Now with our right leg, we're going to slowly begin to pull it towards the edge of the mat and hold here once we find a comfortable place to stretch out the hip, inner thigh. We'll just hold for 2 deep breaths, not long. Good. After that second deep breath, we'll slowly pull the right knee back to the center. We'll inhale to pull the left knee back in, so keeping both knees to chest. We'll take a moment to shift side to side. Good. Take one more big inhale, pull both knees into the chest. And as we exhale, releasing that right leg down to the mat, turning the right toes to the right side, finding that stretch in the inner thigh and hip. Now with our left leg, we're going to slowly begin to pull it towards the edge of the mat, finding a good stopping point to hold that stretch. Listening to your body. You should feel a nice stretch in the hip flexor through the inner thigh. We'll take 2 deep breaths. After that second deep breath, we'll slowly pull the left knee back into the chest. We'll inhale to pull that right knee back in one more time. We'll wrap things up here with some happy baby. So we have some options. Option one, we're going to slowly straighten out the legs. You can pull down on the backs of the hamstrings, backs of the knees. If it's comfortable, you can walk the hands up a little bit further, reaching towards the feet and grabbing for the arches, the outside edge of your foot. And play around if you want to start at the knees, kind of work into this deep stretch. Walk up to the toes. Great. Wherever you're at, we'll just hang out here for 3 deep breaths. This is our last stretch of class. Working to let the shoulders melt down the best we can. Unclench the jaw, maybe find some movement if that's comfortable. Careful not to tip over. Good. Whenever you're done with your 3rd deep breath, you can slowly begin to unwind, maybe pulling the feet in for a moment and releasing down to the mat. Good. We'll extend the legs out here. And we'll take an inhale to reach overhead, find a big stretch. As we bring the hands down, we'll bring the palms together and down to the forehead at 3rd eye center. Please know you're more than welcome to continue stretching on your own, but that is all I have for you today for restorative yoga. I appreciate you all taking time out of your day to slow things down, give the body a little refresher with this slow pace practice. We'll seal our time together with Namaste.